Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. In our previous video classes, we have started with the topic that is while loop, and we have seen how does the while loop, this general syntax and the flowchart works, and we have seen one of the examples related to the while loop. Now before we proceed with the further programming examples, let us have a quick glance on the what is this while loop and what is its general syntax and the flowchart. So this while loop, we call it as a pre-tested looping structure. As I said yesterday, we call it as a pre-tested looping structure because before the execution of these set of statement or the block or the compound statements, the first condition is being tested. On satisfying this condition, these set of statements will be executed. Therefore, we are testing the condition at the starting point and then allowing for the execution. Therefore, we refer this particular while loop as pre-tested looping structure. Understood? And these set of statements keeps on repeating. Okay, it keeps on repeating, or it repeats the execution of these set of statements until the condition is being true. Once this test condition becomes false, then the control will automatically jumps to the next statement. I hope this explanation you can recall, which we have discussed in the previous video. Similarly, we have this flowchart. If this test condition, if it is true at the earliest point for the first time, the condition is tested. If this condition is true, then these set of statements will be executed inside the loops. And suppose for an example, okay, once the set of statements are executed, again the repetition takes place, again the iteration takes place, again the loop repeats, again for the second time, again the test condition will be tested. Second time also, if your condition is true, again the set of statements will be executed and again the repetition takes place. Okay, again the condition. Like this repetition keeps on, it will keeps on continuing until this particular condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, automatically the control jumps to the where, that is next statement. I hope children you are able to recall these points. Now moving on to this program, I think we have already studied, right? So here I had taken the count value as 5. Okay, until this count value is, here we are entering it is as 1. Until the count value becomes false, these set of statements kept on executing, okay, kept on repeating. So that is how the number is 5. So how many iterations I got here? That is fifth iteration. Till fifth iteration the condition kept on as true, and at the sixth iteration the count value had become as, because here we are incrementing the count value, right? This is a printing statement. As the count value was been incremented to the 6 is less than or equals to 5, the condition becomes fails. Once the condition becomes fails, automatically the control, instead of repeating, what happens, the control automatically jumps to the next statement. Therefore we can see the in the output that is the end of the loop. So this is how we got the output. Now similarly, we have one of the programming example for you all based upon this logic, but here we are having in the form of increasing order, but here this is a program to print the numbers in the descending order. The logic remains the same, only I am decrementing. In the previous example it was incrementing, here I am trying to print the numbers in the descending order. So herein I have taken a variable known as s of type integer, children, and then I am asking the user to enter the number. So Cin n. So I am checking this number, I am providing the condition that number whatever you have entered should be greater than 0. Now let me assume the value here I have entered as 3. Okay, the value here I have entered as 3. So after that the value n will hold the variable value as 3. So the control comes to the next statement, that is while condition, isn't it? So we know this particular syntax. After the while, and while it is a keyword, therefore it should be the lower case always. So while, after condition you have to mention in the parenthesis, right, round parenthesis. So here you have to mention while n is greater than 0. Now the value of n is what? 3 we have assumed, isn't it? Whether 3 is greater than 0? Yes, the condition is true. On satisfying this particular condition, the control will automatically get inside within the loop. Understood? Then once it gets inside the loop, what it is? It's a printing statement. So before printing, how many width will be set? 4 width. Therefore, you can see here, before printing 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 space width has been left, and then the value of n has been printed. Right now the value of n is actually 3. 3 we have printed. After this part, this is a block, isn't it? Block or the compound statement. What it is? The set of statements which are separated by semicolon. After this, again the control goes to the next statement, wherein you are decrementing the value of n by 1. Isn't it? Therefore, if you are decrementing the value of n, means the n value will become what now? This becomes 2 at the second iteration. This is the tracing of the program, children. In the examination, you just need to write this program. But for your explanation, for your understanding purpose, I am just given the tracing also here. Now this value of n becomes 2, children. Therefore, at the second iteration, now n value is become true. Again the loop iterates. Okay, the control goes back to the while condition. Why it is going back? Because the condition is true here. Okay, to check this time whether these set of statements to execute or no, for that it should check until the condition is true, children. Therefore, it is checking whether 2 is greater than 0. Here also condition is satisfying for you. If again condition satisfies, the control will make an entry into the loop, and here you are setting the width. How many width you are setting? 4 spaces, isn't it? Therefore, I have shown here this time. In the output screen, you cannot see all these dots, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4 space it will leave, and then the n value will be printed. Now, this time you are printing it as 2, isn't it? And after that, again control comes to the next statement where you are decrementing the value of n. So, therefore, the n value will become what? This time as 1. So, after that, again whether to repeat or no, again the control goes back to the while condition. Now, this is the third time. So, third iteration I can say, third repetition or third iteration. Now, this time the value of n is what, children? 1. So, again it is checking the condition. While 1 is greater than or equal to, 1 is greater than 0. Yes, my condition is satisfying. So, therefore, on satisfying, again I am printing the value of n, that is 1 I am printing. After that, what is the next statement? That is, we are decrementing the value of n, children, here. Therefore, n value becomes what? 0 now, isn't it? N value becomes 0. So, again the loop goes for the iteration to check. Before it iterates, it has to check for the condition, isn't it? Now, at the fourth iteration, n value becomes what? 0. So, again it checks for the condition. While 0 is greater than 0, the condition is false. So, because the condition becomes false, what happens from here? Right from this particular while condition, it doesn't make an entry. Instead, the control jumps to the next statement of the while statement. That means it skips all this particular set of statements, and the control comes out of the while loop, and the control goes to the next statement. Therefore, here you can see the end of loop. This particular statement, cout statement, will be executed. Here it will be printed as end of loop. I hope you are able to understand how does the while works. So, while it repeats the loop until the condition is true. Once the condition is false, the control comes out of the that is loop. So, in examination they may ask you, write a program to print the numbers in descending order using while loop. In that case, you need to write this particular program with the output also you have to mention. Understood? So, now moving on to the next program. That is, this is your practical program also. Okay. So, to find out the sum of digits in a given number using the while statement. They are asking you to write the program to find the sum of digits in a given number. Sum of digits in the sense of, for example, if I enter the number as 53, it has to give me the sum of digits, that is 5 plus 3, that is 8. I have to get the output. If I enter the value as 18, then I should get the sum of the digits, entered number digits to be as 9 I should get. So, how do I have written the program? You just please see here. This is the header files, main function. Then I have taken three variables, that is n, sum and digit. So n of type integer, sum also type of integer and digit also of type integer, and I have initialized the sum value to be 0. Why I have initialized? So that the variable sum, it might be used by some other program. Therefore, it should initially consist of the, it should be reinitialized. It should not consist of any other value. So, I have just reinitialized the sum variable to the 0. Understood? Then I have asked the user to enter the number. Okay. And then here, firstly I am checking that whether the entered number should not be equals to 0. If so, it has to make an entry into the loop. Understood? Then I am performing the modulus operator. Whatever the answer I am having, I will place it in the digit. And then sum. Okay, sum initially was 0. So 0 plus whatever digit I am getting, that I will be placing in again the variable known as sum. And then I will perform the division operation. Again the loop iterates. Now when I explain this way, you will not understand. Therefore, tracing is necessary. Let me come to the tracing part here. See here, I have entered the number as 55. So therefore, what is this variable n? Whatever the user have entered 55. So therefore, the n value will be holding what? 55 children. Okay. Then after that what? We have the condition while n is not equal to 0. I need to check whether 55 is not equal to 0. Yes, the condition is true. On satisfying this condition, the control makes an entry into the loop. So what is it that loop says? What is the first statement? That is n mod 10. That is n mod 10. Whatever the value you are getting should be placed in a variable known as digit. So this is an assignment operator. Whatever the calculation happens in the right hand side will be assigned to the left hand side. As per this statement, n mod 10, this is modulus operator where we are getting the remainder. See, when I enter 55, firstly from 55 number I need to separate 5 first. And then I have to store it in a variable known as sum. By how do I separate? From 55, I should get this 5 separately, means I have to do the modulus operator. Then only I will get the remainder as 5 here, children. Understood? You may ask 5 may get quotient in quotient also you may. No, only this logic is working for this particular number. One more example I will show you, so that you will come to know that we have to get the remainder as 5. In 55, firstly I should separate this 5 and place it in one variable, and later I should get this 5 and add this particular 5 with this first 5, then I will be getting the answer as 10. So, to separate the numbers, we have, the logic is to perform the modulus rather than the division. Here I can show you. Now the entered number is 231 children. The entered number is 231 here, n value. So, I want to find the sum of these 3 digits, means 2 plus 3 plus 1. Okay, I should get how much? This one I should get, that is 6 I should get. But first step is what? In this 231, first 1 should be separated, and 1 should be separated and kept in one variable. How to separate that? By using this modulus operator. Understood? After this what happens? Okay. Again, what is the remaining number will be remaining? 23. In this 23, 3 should be separated. And that 3 should be added with the 1, where I will get the answer as 4. And after that, what is left out? 2 is left out. 2 will be separated and it should be added with the 4. Previous answer was 4. So, there I will get as the answer as 6. So, this is the main logic here. Okay. So, here I have taken 55. So, to separate 5 from this 55, I have done the modulus operation. When I do this modulus operation, 10 5s are 50. I got the separate one as 5, and I am that variable remainder I am storing in a variable known as digit, children. After that, I need to perform the addition. So, why I should perform the addition? Because the next upcoming number I should add it, right? So, initially the value of sum is 0, because we have assigned in our program sum to be 0. So, 0 plus what is there in the digit, that is 5. So, total sum right now we will be having as 5. After that, In 55, 5 is out. Then what is the remaining number? That is 5 is remaining, isn't it? So to get that 5, I have to perform what? That is division. Now this time we are referring for the quotient division. So 55 divided by 10. Since it is division, we are concentrating on quotient. So I will get the value as, remaining value as 5. So that is I have rewritten. Previously n value was holding 55. Now I have done the calculation, and when I am moving the new value in the same variable, means the contents of the variable n will be rewritten, as now the value of n will be what? 5. Now coming to the second iteration. The n value is what, children? 5 here, and coming to this condition, while condition, again n is not equal to 0, I need to check. Now here directly I have replaced with the value so that you can clearly understand. Now whether 5 is not equal to 0, yes, the condition is true. Once the condition is true, it is checking in, it is making an entry into the loop, and I should get this 5 out. Am I right? I need to get this 5. So to get that 5, what I should do? The modulus. See, again and again I am doing the same operations. When you want certain set of statements to be repeated like this, depending upon the situation, okay, then I should use the looping statements like while. Similarly, we have the do while, and similarly we have the for loop. Instead of rewriting these set of statements again and again, we have used these control statements known as while. So these while will help you to execute certain set of statements, to repeat them depending upon the condition. So therefore again we got separated. 5 mod 10, what is that? 10 zeros is 0. We got the digit, we got the remainder as 5, children. Now I will store this 5 in the variable known as digit. Previous contents will be erased. Now the new value will be stored in the 5. Okay, so now here previous value of sum was what here? Sum as 5 was there. Therefore the same, sum will hold the same value, that is 5, plus what is there in the digit as per this? Again 5. So 5 plus 5, the new value, sorry, it should be sum here, not digit. Here I have by mistakenly I have written as digit. It should be sum. So the total 5 plus 5, 10, the new value will be stored in the sum. Previously sum was holding 5. Now after addition, the sum value became 10. Next is what? The next statement, n is equal to n divided by 10. Now, what is the value of n, children? Now, n value was actually 5, isn't it? N value here actually it is not 0, it is 5. 5 divided by 10 when I, 5 divided by 10 when I do, because it is a division operation, we are concentrating on the quotient here. So the value of n is 0. Here it should be 5, children. 5 divided by 10 it should be. Therefore since it is division, we got the answer quotient as 0. Now the value of n is what? 0. Now again the loop repeats. Again the loop repeats. How many times it repeats? Until the condition is true. Now when the loop repeats, then the value of third iteration, the value of n is 0 here. Now it is checking again the while condition, whether 0 is not equal to 0. Here the condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, control comes out of the while loop. Now as per this one, as per this what happens? Now the condition becomes false. 0 is not equal to 0. Yes, the condition is fails. Once the condition is fails, automatically the control comes to here, and then it will try to print. Now where is your actual answer is in? Answer is in which variable? That is in sum. Therefore sum of digits, it will print me as sum, that is which is holding the value as 10. Understood? So this is how we are able to execute the program, that is to find the sum of the digits in a given number. Similarly, we have, children, this programmer, this I have taken the new value here. Previously it was 55, now we will have the 231. I am taking the different examples so that you can clearly understand. Now here I have just directly taken the values here. Now consider n values as 231. Firstly, it is checking the condition. While 231 is not equal to 0, yes, the condition is true. If your condition is true, I need to separate this 1 out of 231, isn't it? To separate that, we have to perform the modulus operator. Modulus operator, that is digit is equal to n mod 10. So that is 231 mod 10. When you do 10, 23s are, that means I have taken 10 2s are first, 10 2s are 20, and then 3 is the remainder. I have taken this one here. and then 10 3s are 30 we know, and we got as 1 as a remainder here. So 1 as when we got the remainder, that will be stored in a variable known as digit, that is 1. Then after that the control goes to the next statement where I have written what? Sum plus digit. What is the value? Initial value of sum, it is been initialized with 0. So 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1. What is there in the digit? That is 1. So 0 plus 1. The new value of sum will be rewritten. 0 will be erased and the new value of sum variable will hold the value as 1. After that, what happened? I need to get the remainder. Once, if 1 is been discarded from 231, what is the next n value it should remain with? That is 23. So 23, how do I get? That is by the division operation here, children. So when I perform division operation, I'll get the new value of n, that is 23. So the contents of n will be rewritten. 231 will be erased and n will hold now as 23. Again the loop iterates. When the loop iterates, this time, second time, n will have to 23. 23 is not equal to 0. Yes, the condition is true. If so, I need to separate this 3 out of 23 to do that modulus operation. So here you can see. So 10 2s are 20. So 3 is being separated, and that 3 I will be storing in the digit. I'll separate it. After separating, this value should get added with the sum. Then only you will get 3 plus 1, isn't it? So therefore, what I'm doing, what is the previous value of sum here? That is 1. So 1 plus digit, that is sum plus digit. So what is the digit who is holding? That is 3. So the new value of sum will be now, as per this, is 4. The previous contents was 1, 1 will be erased and some variable will hold the value as 4. And after this, when you separate 3 out of 23, what should be the remainder? What I should get the answer as 2, it should be remaining, isn't it? So therefore, it's not 231 here, children, it is 23. 23 divided by 10 when you perform, as per this one, 23 divided by 10. So since it is a division operation, we should concentrate on the quotient value. I'll get the quotient as 2. Therefore, the new value of n will hold the value as 2. Now, when I go for the third iteration, what will be the value of n here, children? That will be value of n is 2 here. So whether 2 is not equal to 0, yes, the condition is true. Now I should separate that 2, isn't it? I need to add that 1 with the previous sum value. So therefore I need to do the modulus operation. 10 2s are. So 10 zeros are 0. Therefore I got the remainder as 2. So that 2 will be holding by the variable known as digit. And now this 2 should get added with the sum, isn't it? Now what is the value of previous sum here? That is, as per this, it is 4. So 4 plus 2 I get. So 6. So 6 will be holded in a variable known as sum. So previous contents of sum will be erased and some variable will hold a new value, that is 6. Then after that, what? Again the division operations will perform. When? That is 2 divided by 10. When you do the 2 divided by 10, this is a division operation. What we are concentrating on? Quotient here. I get the quotient as 0. Now the n value will become 0. After the n value becomes 0, again the loop iterates. When the loop iterates, what is the value of n is 0. Whether 0 is not equal to 0, children, the condition fails. Once the condition will fails, the control comes out of the loop and it executes the next statement where it prints that as per the program how it prints is, that is sum of digits is sum. Now the latest value of sum was 6 when you have entered the value as n to be as 231. So this is how exactly the while condition works. Now I'll show you with the programming example how to execute the previous program as well as this also I'll show you. So I'll first show the descending program. So this is what the program we had studied previously. So when I enter the value, first I'll compile this. When I compile, I got 0 errors. I'll just run the code. Okay. Now what it should be? I'll just enter the value as 5. I need to get it in the form of descending order, children. So see here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So once the while condition was being, it was false, the control had come out of the while statement, and the control went to the next statement, wherein the next cout statement was actually for us was end of loop, isn't it? Similarly, you can give any number here, but it should be an integer. I can give one large value, I'll give you. Here I'll just give the input as 15, I'll give. And I give 15. See, it works, isn't it? So this is how you can execute the program in the form of, that is the descending order. Here we are decrementing the value of n by 1. Therefore, I got the values in the form of decreasing order. Okay. Now, coming on to the next program, children, that is sum of digits, what we have discussed. Now let me execute the program here, the same program. Okay, just I'll compile, 0 errors. Okay, and then just I will run the program. Now it is asking you to enter the number. Let me enter the number as 55. When I enter the number as 55, see, it's giving me the sum of digits as 10. Understood? Now similarly, shall I give the number as 231? You can give any number and you can search for. Okay, so when I give 231 here, it should give me as 6, correct? Let me give an larger value here. When I give the larger value, let me give as 1000. When I get the 1000, I should get the answer as 1, correct? That is sum of digits in the sense what? 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. So total sum of digits would be 1. So this is how we can use the while statement. Okay, moving on to the next. That is the next program to find the compound interest given amount, rate of interest and the time. To find out the compound interest. Now let me come back to the PPT here. Yes, this we completed, right? Moving on to the next program. Yes. So this is a program to find out the compound interest given the amount, rate of interest and time. I hope all know how to calculate the simple interest and the compound interest. Simple interest, if we are using, that is PTR upon 100 would be the formula. Now compound interest, how we are doing? Okay, suppose for an example, okay, so compound interest, how to calculate is, here is the logic. We are asking the user, we are taking the variables like principal amount. P amount stands for principal amount, net amount, rate, and CI, that is stands for compound interest, and integer we are taking two variables, that is time and year. These are floating data type. Okay, then we are asking the user to enter the principal amount, rate of interest and time. So maybe the user have entered as 1000 here. Okay, principal amount 1000 and rate of interest as 5%, and then 5% in the sense percent need not to be written, only 5 if you are giving is fine, and then time I am giving as a like 2 years, 10 years, 5 years, depending upon your choice you can give. Then here what happens, whatever the principal amount has been given, the same will be holded by the another variable, that is net amount. I need this later for the calculation, therefore whatever the amount is there in the principal amount, the same will be moved in the value, will be moved in the one more variable, that is net amount. And initially we are considering the value, we are initializing the year variable with 1. Now here comes the logic. While year is less than or is equal to time, if this condition satisfies, then we are calculating the net amount, that is net amount into 1 plus rate divided by 100, and we are incrementing the year value. Now let me explain this one with the programming example. So in our next video we shall discuss, so that clearly with the sum of the iterations, like this way we have I've already taken this one with an example. Even you can trace the program. I hope by this you can able to trace how does the while works. I hope you will be knowing. So that's why I'm showing you now. So before I explain this in my next video class, you can try for this particular iteration. You need not to see this. Just take one any value principal. Like here I have taken the principal amount to be 1000. Here rate of interest I have taken 10, time as 3, year as 1. So only one while loop I'll explain here. Listen here. Here, suppose for example, For 3 years I want to calculate the compound interest by keeping an principal amount as 1000 and by providing the rate of interest as 10%. For 3 years I need to calculate, isn't it? Therefore, in my while condition I have taken the year, whereas year I have initialized it as 1. So, until the year is less than or is equal to time, wherein the time is, that is 3 years. Until 3 years I need to keep on these set of statements to be iterated or repeated so that I can calculate the compound interest for 3 years. I have written this particular as a year less than is equal to time as a statement. Understood? So for the first year initially I have taken it as year to be as 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 3. Yes, the condition is true. Once this condition is true means I am calculating for the compound interest for the first year. Understood? So therein net amount, initially net amount in the sense why it is holding 1000. As per this program we know that whatever is there in the principal amount, the same value has been moved into the net amount, isn't it? So the net amount you see here. The net amount initially holds as 1000. 1000 into 1 plus, what is the rate amount I have given? 10. So 10 divided by 100. When you do this 10 divided by 100, I am getting the value as 0.1. So therefore, as per this calculation internally how it happens, 1000 into 1.1. So calculation, what answer I will get as 1100. This 1100 after calculation will be stored in a variable known as net amount, that is 1100. So this 1100 I got the compound interest as total overall with principal amount plus the compound interest I got for the first year as 1100. Next what I should do, I should calculate for the second year. Am I right? So I need to increment the value of year. I should go for the second year, right? So therefore I am incrementing the value of year. Now this time the value of year has become 2. Okay, the value of year became 2. Again when it became 2, again the loop iterates. I hope children you are able to understand. So this explanation I shall be continuing in my next video class. But before to that I want you to try this. So it's very easy. If you are able to do it, fine. Otherwise I will be explaining in my next video. Till that, take care of yourself students. Thank you.